Hi guys, this is Amnasan back with another live streaming in front of you. I hope you guys are doing amazing and rolling out your day nicely because that's important, I believe. So I am happy and excited today because today with me I have one of the vibrant and a very diverse personality and a professional out there joining me from all the way from Singapore. He is Joseph Saheb Bakhsh. If you're on LinkedIn and actively using LinkedIn, you have to follow him. Actually, I have linked down his streaming link in the description box of the streaming, so your guys are more than welcome to join him. So basically, Joseph is a director of sales and marketing. He is having extensive years of experience in this field. He is also a global Goodwill ambassador, mentor, and the co-host of Create the Edge. So this is the very exciting part because today we are going to discuss about the great theme all about creating the edge, create the edge, which we call it. So how basically, one individual in life, career, business, you know, should be creating that edge or peak or what is something to be taken care of or think about it. So we will be discussing all the insights with him, and he is joining me in a couple of minutes. So before that, I would like you to tell me from where you're watching and tuning in the show. Just let me know, and feel free to tell me that how are you creating that edge in your life. And if you haven't started yet, or maybe thinking to start, so you're more than welcome to ask any questions or share your experience or your thoughts on it, that what you think about creating that spark in your life and career, which can take you ahead. So because I personally love the concept and I just want to sink in more to learn from him that what's going on or what was there and what's coming after ahead of it. So yeah, and just feel free to participate in this streaming because your participation will make this streaming and show more joyful, more engaging actually, because that is the true purpose of creating such streamings or chat shows basically for you guys to learn. So yeah, feel free to loopen up, and I would be acknowledging at the same time your comments or feedback. So let's check who is with us. Ahmad is there. Great to see you. Thank you very much, Ahmad, for tuning in and being here with us from Saudi Arabia. He is watching us. Thank you so much. And I hope you are doing amazing at your work, at your amazing work you're doing at LinkedIn in your life. Thank you very much for being here. All right, so let's welcome Joseph. How are you, Joseph?
I'm very good, Amna, and it's such an honor and a pleasure to actually be on your live show today. I wasn't actually aware that we were going to go live on LinkedIn as well. So I just realized that right now when I saw Brother Ahmed's comment on LinkedIn. So I thought we were just going live on YouTube. So anyways, but it's great. It's absolutely a pleasure to be on your show, and I'm really honored and humbled by the amazing introduction. Things can just go downhill from here. Simple as that. I'm a little bit embarrassed by the amazing introduction that you just did, and thank you once again. See, we were just talking about Brother Saheb here. And he's here. So appreciate your support, Brother Saheb, and thanks, Joe. Appreciate your support as well. But Amna, it's such a pleasure. You're doing some amazing work. Obviously, and collaborating with some amazing people from around the world. And the main thing which I really love about what you're doing is that you're actually trying to provide value to your network, and that's so important. And that is basically the essence of how one can create the edge moving forward. So it's a pleasure and an honor. I like to take this as like I'm one half of Create the Edge on here on your show, because the other half is Joy Abdullah, my who I call my elder brother from Malaysia. Without him, obviously, Create the Edge would not have been possible. So, but I really appreciate the invitation to be on your show, and I'm an open book. Please feel free to ask as many questions as you possibly want to know.
Absolutely. Loved it. Thank you very much for joining me. And I want you to, just, a bit again, tell about your story, because as you are coming from a diverse, journey of your life, So a
Yeah.
little bit about that, and then we would move further with the theme of
Sure.
our, yeah. So
Sure. I mean,
how
so I can go on for an hour with regards to my background and where I'm from, but I'll just try to put it in a nutshell. So I'm originally from India, from Calcutta, only child of a single mother. I was born in Calcutta. I spent the first almost 17 years of my life there, and then I moved to Australia, to Melbourne, for my further studies. Basically, my first official, professional career, my job, etc., started in Melbourne, and I've been there for a very, very long time. And I've recently moved to Singapore. I say recently because it just feels as if it was a few years ago, but I've been in Singapore now for the last 8 years. So that's just me in a nutshell with regards to my movement across the different continents and the different countries, so to speak. But apart from that, there are certain elements within my career, within what I studied in school, etc., and what I'm doing at this present moment. Like, for example, I was a through and through science student, physics, chemistry, and computer science. So I wanted to become a mechatronical engineer. I was wanting to go into robotics, and I even had my at one point, long back. I still do have the admission letter from University of California, Berkeley, UC Berkeley, to go into mechatronical engineering and stuff. So, but things happened in my personal life, and I ended up going to Australia for my graduation and my post graduation, etc. And absolutely fell in love with Australia. Fell in love with Melbourne. In my opinion, it's the most beautiful country that one can live in. It's one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and a city doesn't get voted to be the most livable city in the world like 8 years running if there's not something really, really good about it. So that's me. I love Australia. I've been in Singapore for the last 8 years. Singapore is a great place, very safe, etc. But I think if someone asks me, where do you think home is? Even though I'm from India, I would say home immediately sort of resonates with Australia with me. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I've always been in the management consulting strategy, people development, face-to-face client management, etc. Throughout my life, with regards to work and also my individual consulting as well. So yeah, Create the Edge basically started off with Joy in 2019, and we still going great guns. We still do a bit of work. I have sort of taken a little bit of time off from the consulting element with Create the Edge in the recent past, in the last few months or so, because I'm just working on a specific project which is taking up a lot of my time at this present moment. Which soon, I guess, everyone on LinkedIn will come to know what this project is. But till then, mum's the word. So yeah,
exactly. That's what we were discussing. At the backstage, something is grand coming up, and I'm so excited to, be in it. All right, so let's talk about, again, creating the edge. And you've been into different countries, you lived there, worked, and, you enjoyed your life, right? So coming back, to the concept, connecting with people. How to actually find out the right kind of people and connect in life. And it could be like, professional prospects, clients, business, career. So what would you like to, share with us? Like how, or how do you connect basically?
No, see, I mean, and this is the element. Like, for those of you, Create the Edge is not just a name; it's an acronym. It's a thought. Let's just put it that way. And it's not. So we didn't actually think about the name of the company prior, or the name of the organization that Joy and I tried to create with regards to our video blog, with all the amazing interviews that we've had over 2 seasons across 2 years, across so many people, over 120 people on LinkedIn, and on YouTube as well. So it's been an amazing journey. But we didn't sort of just think about the name Create the Edge. So I love my acronyms. And that's something which I really, really love. So if you go to my profile, you'll see the breakdown of what Create the Edge actually stands for. So there is one element in my philosophy which I deeply resonate with, which is my CARE philosophy, CARE, connect, appreciate, relate, and engage. And that's something, both in your professional as well as in your personal existence, it's something which makes a huge difference. You just being able to care, which is connect meaningfully with the intention to provide value. Appreciate the feedback that you get from whoever it is, whether in a personal situation or in a professional situation. How do you appreciate that feedback? You've got to be a good listener. Okay, so these are where all these little elements with regards to sales, business development, strategy, and stuff comes together in that CARE philosophy. Connect, appreciate, relate. You have to be able to relate to people around you. That's where the empathy element comes in, which so many people talk about, especially today. Empathy, compassion, kindness, etc. Put yourself in their shoes to actually understand, what they're going through. And the engage. You need to be able to also reciprocate. You need to be able to engage with your audience, whether it be on a professional side or on a personal side. You can't just be like take, and not give back. And that is the element of the CARE philosophy. So that's when, Joy and I were just having a discussion. Oh my, it's like 2.5 years ago. So this was in December 2018. And I joined LinkedIn in August 2018. So Joy and I, we sort of met on LinkedIn. We've got a lot of similarities, especially with our backgrounds, etc., with our lives, and how it has happened, personal as well as professional, etc. I come from a sales and BD background. He comes from a marketing background, and obviously we both believe that sales and marketing need to work hand in hand moving forward with regards to being able to create a digital footprint for both individuals as well as companies. So we started having a discussion, and we were like, why don't we do something and do it like a bit of a collaboration moving forward with providing our network with some advice and information which would be valuable and insightful to them. So if one does actually go back and scroll back to Create the Edge Season 1, Episode 1 and Episode 2, you will actually see it's just Joy and me, just the both of us, having a discussion with regards to certain industries of business and how they can create the edge in their specific industries, and what other things that they are missing out on with regards to engaging with their prospective clients, their customers, etc., etc. The first 2 episodes are just that. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, the 2 industries that we did were aviation and hospitality. So, and that is what we were wanting to do. We were wanting to basically bring forth and provide some value through our insights, because at that moment, I had over 15 years of experience in the sales, BD, and strategy segment in management consulting. Joy had like over 30 years of experience in marketing. So combined between us, almost 50 years of experience across multiple countries. So he's worked in the UK, in Malaysia, in India, in the US. I worked in Europe. I worked in the Middle East. I worked in Australia for a very long time. I worked in the Indian subcontinent, and now I'm working in Singapore. So like between us, we had like almost 50 years of experience across a lot of different geographies. So we wanted to. That was basically the seeds that were planted for creating the edge, or for starting it. To create the edge started basically with the CARE philosophy, and then we expanded it and we made it a bit bigger. So we just like create. Okay, so CARE, the CARE went into the create. A few other acronyms went in. The edge, and the edge is also an acronym. So for those of you who are not aware of what Create the Edge stands for, please feel free to go to mine or Joy's profile. You'll be able to see what it stands for. But the main thing is like, so we started doing these dual interviews, or not really an interview. It's just a discussion between Joy and I.
Exactly, a chat.
Correct. And then we were like, we have such an amazing network of friends, acquaintances, and professionals from around the world in diverse industries, both who are employees and those who are entrepreneurs. Why don't we bring them on board and have it like an interview discussion sort of thing, and get to understand their life and what they did to create the edge in what they are doing for business moving forward.
Mhm.
How did I mean? Each and every
How did
person
it
has
started?
faced each and every person has faced difficulties in some
Yeah,
way,
absolutely.
has
Yeah.
faced people not believing in them, not believing in their vision, etc. It happens. Okay, that's just life. But only the courageous only the courageous survive and pull through moving forward, because they are the ones who don't lose sight of
Yeah.
their purpose, and they do whatever it takes, come rain, come hail, come storm, to make sure that their actions are aligned with their vision, mission, and purpose. And that's the main element. So
Mm.
that's how we started talking to people, on Create the Edge. And, we both combined between us, we had a lot of people who we really, really sort of admire.
Yeah.
So that's how season one started, and it was brilliant. And season one, it was I think 49 episodes, and then the 50th episode was a LinkedIn Live, which had 52 people joining in live, which was the largest LinkedIn Live ever. On LinkedIn at that time, the number of people coming together in one live broadcast across 4 hours. There was two segments for our
That's
Golden Disney
massive.
episode in 2019.
Mhm.
So, which is great. And then season two, we decided to take it up another notch. So,
Mm.
not only did we keep talking, about topics which generally a lot of people sweep under the carpet, for
Mm.
example, we've spoken about, for example, gender disparity. We've talked about, a pay disparity between women and men. We've
Mm.
talked about homosexuality. We've talked about, lots of different elements. Women in business, different sort of hindrances that they face from
Mhm.
people around them, different cultures, different countries, how it works, etc. So, I think that is what made Create the Edge a bit synonymous, and people really loved what we do, because we weren't scared to talk about taboo topics as well,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
basically have people who have been there, done
Mm.
that, and been able to showcase their journey, and basically also show that, if you stick to what you are passionate about, success will definitely be yours. So, that's basically Create the Edge. And season two was completely on LinkedIn Live. And while we were doing that, obviously Joy and I, we started doing independent consulting, both of us together with companies from around the world, mainly SMEs. We've also consulted with a few MNCs as well over the last year and a half or so. And it's been a
Mm.
fantastic experience. It's been an absolutely fantastic experience. So we love working together. I'm the creative guy. Joy is more of the planner. So, we have all bases covered, so to speak. So, I'm right brain, he's left brain. So it's great. And that's
Exactly. That's how you guys connected.
and that's
Mhm.
and that's the beauty of collaboration, right, Amna? I mean,
Yeah, that's was the point
business.
I started. Yeah, the
And
connection,
when
the
you go into
collaboration.
business, precisely. So when you go into business, you need to make sure that, whoever you're partnering with, you'll are both bringing to the table certain elements which you both are brilliant at. Okay, not
Mhm.
both are just good at, because you shouldn't go into business with someone who is exactly the same as you. You shouldn't, because then what you're inculcating is
Mm.
basically a bit of like blinders. Horses
Mhm.
wear blinders when they go on a race, is because
Right.
they are just seeing in one particular
They need
spectrum,
to have
not
one
being able to
focus.
see what.
Mm.
Precisely. So that's the reason why you need to make sure that whenever you're going into business with someone, or if you're going into business yourself, that's great. But if you're going into business with someone, make sure that the person who you're going to business with has different attributes and qualities to you, because then you will be able to look into a much wider spectrum, so to speak, when you're actually dealing with your clients, when you're dealing with your product, when you're dealing with your marketing strategy, whatever be the case. So if you've
Mm.
got, it's not about differences in opinion, it's about two heads being better than one. As simple
Mm.
as that.
Yeah.
So that's why, I mean, Create the Edge has been is something very close to my heart, of course, and it's something which Joy and I both enjoy, and it's something which we really really love doing. So yeah, so that's how Create the Edge started. Um, it basically started off as like a dual talk show, and then we started bringing on guests, and the rest is history. So yeah, that was great.
Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. So let's check who is with us and watching. And I mean, yeah, that's great. You have also messaged it. All right. Thank you very much for your appreciation and your support. Actually, Joseph, it's so nice.
Always a pleasure. Always a
Yeah,
pleasure.
actually. So Ahmed is also there. He's
Mhm.
saying a great guest, Joseph. Thank you very much, and a host. And Saheb is also wishing us, and thank you very much for tuning in to the show. Ahmed is saying thank you very much for the great words. Okay, Joe is there. She is
Thank you
saying
very much for
cheers.
everyone who is tuning in, and just make sure if you've got any questions along those lines, just
Exactly.
put them in the comments below. Whether you're tuning in from YouTube or on LinkedIn, just bring it on.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now I was just thinking
Yep.
about the next, like, should we just talk about the acronym, the whole, or
Yeah,
the overall
absolutely,
theme?
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would love, yeah.
So
So let's,
create, obviously the C stands for connect. So I'm basically I'm because this discussion is basically about how you as an entrepreneur can be better off with your business or with your target clientele. So I'm going to just relate it to business, so to speak.
yeah.
So create obviously stands for the C stands for connect. Connect with your clients to relate to their actual needs and requirements.
Right.
Engage meaningfully and take necessary action. Stay abreast of with transformation, T, and the
Yes.
E is embrace change. So I don't know. I mean, if you would like to basically think about this in that such way, because especially since COVID, everyone's
Mm,
talking about the importance of adaptability, and
yes.
how the digital world has transformed our lives for the better and for worse in certain ways. But that's so important, especially in the T and the E of create is transformation. You've got to stay abreast with transformation. You've got to be on the ball. You can't just basically rest on your laurels. Okay,
Right.
simple as that. There was someone who actually posted a lovely video on LinkedIn a little bit earlier today, where they show that it's not over till it's over, and it shows it's like it's basically like a compilation of different videos of
Mm,
sporting events, where basically the person who's winning, right, and who's about to reach the checkered flag, so to speak, he's like raising his hand, and then the person who's coming second, he has not let go of the momentum. The first
okay.
person let go of the momentum because he's like, I'm sure I'm going to win. But the second person, and right at the end, he just overtakes him. So,
Mm,
and that's such a wonderful element. You've
mm,
got to make sure that you don't rest on your laurels. That there's always someone who can be better than you, but you always need to make sure that you are bettering yourself in every single way. And then the E is obviously to embrace change.
yeah,
Now,
I just love it.
everything that we know of, both personally and professionally, the rule books have been literally thrown out the window. Literally, they've been thrown out the window. Businesses who never thought that they would need a website
Mm,
now
mm,
have had to let go of their entire staff and are looking at digital transformation. But it's too late for so many, right? So many companies. So it's really sad. We've seen some household names, quite literally, on how they have basically gone into oblivion. They have
mm,
no idea how to basically embrace that change and adapt to the situation. And that's where that create element is so important. The edge is basically how you need to um, relate to your team, so to speak, and other people within your company. The E
right.
stands for you to be empathetic with your team. As a company, as a senior decision maker, as a business executive, you need to be empathetic with your team. And that's very important. Then you need to define the edge. ED is the definition of your brand and your business purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That's so important. The definition of your brand and your business purpose. The G is you've got to galvanize and empower your team. There is no point in hiring people if you're micromanaging them, if you're not allowing them to thrive, if you're not allowing them to basically, you know, have faith in their own wings and fly. If you've brought someone on board, you need to make sure that you trust the process, and that's where the galvanizing and the empowering of your team is so important. Apart from that, obviously the last E is the educating of your clients, your employees, and your stakeholders. So what do I mean by educating? It's like, you need to make sure that everyone's on the same page, that everyone is working towards a similar purpose, a similar mission, a similar vision, a similar goal. And that is absolutely essential. Because if you've got people pulling in different directions and not pushing or pulling in the same direction, then there will, be disharmony in your team, and there will be, loss of revenue, and lots of other elements which will come into in the business sphere. So that's basically Create the Edge, the acronym. It's basically a reminder to all companies to ensure that they keep in mind those key elements of create and the word edge. Because if they keep those things in mind, there is no way that they will not succeed. And that and basically Create the Edge, our business consultancy, Joy and I, that's something which we focused on day in, day out with all the companies, all the entrepreneurs that we coached, we trained, we consulted to and consulted with. It's something which was at the top of every single day, every single element, every single business discussion, so to speak. So yeah.
Absolutely love the idea. And when I was listening this all, the deep down insights on Create the Edge, so I was just feeling literally about the leadership skills you have defined in, the whole Create the Edge acronym.
Yep.
What do you think about it? Leadership is also working here or playing a huge role, basically.
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, it's about time that brands and companies realize one very, very important element. Your employee is your best brand ambassador, period. Okay? You treat your employee well and they will look after your company. Now, I know that I am quoting, in a way, Sir Richard Branson, who is one of my business idols. But, but that is so true. And so Richard Branson, that's how he has, gone on with Virgin as his company. People know Sir Richard Branson more than Virgin, in my opinion, around the world. People know Bill Gates, people know Jack Ma more. People know, Warren Buffett more. People know Elon Musk more. Why? Because they themselves have become bigger than their brands. And that is because of their steadfast leadership, which has always been not just focusing on equality, but on being equitable. There's a huge difference between, being, treating everyone equally and treating everyone equitably. Okay. So, and that's something most leaders don't know how to do. It's not about, because you are doing that, you should do that as well. Or you are getting this, get this as well. No. Circumstances are different from two specific individuals. It's not one size fits all. So in the same way, if one size doesn't fit all, then you really need to make sure that you're focusing on being equitable with your internal employees. And that's where leadership element comes in. That's where, staunch leadership is basically about servant leadership. I'm not going to talk about servant leadership because, there are so many amazing people around the world who speak about servant leadership, starting from Simon Sinek. And, for example, brother Saheb here, who has just asked me a question as well on the comments.
So, shall we take that question?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. So he's just asking you basically share your thoughts on branding on LinkedIn in 2021. How essential you see it for everyone nowadays, individual and businesses. Create the Edge has become a brand now which people talk about on LinkedIn, and you remember my WhatsApp. So that's what we were catching up. That you have to check my WhatsApp.
I know. I'm gonna take the comment from not from the front to the back, but from the back to front. So brother Sohaib, I mean, just before the show, I was just talking to Amna backstage, and I was like, you're in Dubai, and brother Sohaib's in Dubai, and you both should definitely collaborate because your backgrounds are very similar. You're obviously doing some amazing work, assisting job seekers from around the world. How they can be really good and be able to sort of come forward and basically bring their best foot forward, to prospective employers, etc. And apart from that, and Amna's doing pretty much the same thing. With her background in HR, she's helping people with their resumes and stuff along those lines. So I definitely see a collaboration, and I would love to see both you and Amna actually doing a job seekers special on LinkedIn on YouTube as well. So I think that'd be great. And I was just telling Amna that I'm gonna WhatsApp Father Sohaib right after the show, and I'm gonna be like, you both should. So yeah, I do have your WhatsApp, bro, and I'll send you a ping right afterwards. Thank you very much with regards to your feedback of Create the Edge being a brand or becoming a brand, and that couldn't have happened without the amazing effort and the support. The effort, obviously, of not just Joy and I, the effort of each and every person who is part of the Create the Edge family, who we have interviewed. We have learned something from each and every one of them, and that has made us better. So Create the Edge wouldn't have been a bit of a household name. You're very, very kind. It's a brand and stuff. Very kind of you to say that, Brother Sohaib. But the thing is, it's all about the support of the people in your community. Your network is directly proportional to your network. As simple as that. And that is something so many people forget in today's world. And apart from that, I think you've asked the quintessential question, which I sort of touched a little bit upon with regards to my thoughts on branding on LinkedIn in 2021. I think, and as I was just mentioning, Bill Gates, Jack Ma, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Richard Branson, they are bigger than their brands. Okay, so and this is where people who are in a senior leadership position, they need to focus on their own personal branding. They need to make sure that if you are a spokesperson of a company, you need to make sure that whatever you say and whatever you do is in alignment with not just your own purpose and your mission and your vision, but also with your brands or with your companies. And that you're actually able to make a difference to people, and you're actually empathetic, and you're actually true, and you have that integrity that you're trying to do the right thing, by people around you. So personal branding is so important. And, something which Brother Sohaib and so many other people talk about all the time with regards to the importance of actually focusing on showcasing what you stand for. Yeah. People do business with people who they know, like, and trust. Simple as that, period. Okay? But how will they know, like, and forget the trust factor? They need to know you. That's the first step. How do people know you? And that's one of the main reasons as to why so many of us content creators on LinkedIn or any other social media, we keep on harping about get yourself in front of the camera. You can be great at writing prose. You can be great at writing stuff, but you will only be able to have like an 80% connection with your audience. The moment they see you on camera, they see your mannerisms, they see how you talk, they see how you move, they see how you articulate certain things. They will see the passion in your eyes. And that is when they will ultimately get to know you better. The like factor is so dependent on that know factor. People can only like you if they know you. People can only like you if they get to know who you are as a person, what you stand for from within. And that's the only way that they can ultimately get to trust you in the future. So the know, like, and trust factor is absolutely quintessential. And that is absolutely, it's a cornerstone of personal branding. And that's where you need to make sure that you are showcasing to people around you, not what you do for a living, because trust me, people can Google that. You've got that in your LinkedIn profile. If you Google your name, whoever's watching right now, do it. If you Google your name, stuff that you have done professionally will come up. But stuff that you are and have done personally, what you are passionate about, that won't come up. So talk about not just what you do, but who you are, because that is what people resonate with. That is what people connect with. People connect with people. People connect with emotions. People connect with something they find in similar context. And that's
the
one of the main
behaviors,
exactly.
The
And that's one of the main
manners, the values.
Precisely. And why do people do business, or rather forget about why do people do business? If you're an entrepreneur and you've got your own business, I'm asking you, whoever is watching, and if you're an entrepreneur, why should they do business with you? Why? There are thousands of other people around the world who are perhaps doing the same thing that you are doing, and some of them may be doing even a much better job than you. But why should people choose you? Because you need to bring forth your strategic differentiator. And this is something which, Brother David Breyer from the US, he talks about all the time, about how it's so important to focus on your differentiation. How are you different from other people? How are you different from your competitors? What is your strategic differentiator? So that's where that connection comes in. It is a business of the heart. Simple as that. People do business with people who they know, like, and trust. Whether it be B2C, whether it be B2B. A lot of people are like, okay, business of the heart, etc. With being able to connect with emotions, etc. That only works for business to consumer or B2C, marketing and B2C strategies, but not with B2B. Rubbish. I'll tell you why. Because in B2B as well, yes, you have a panel of people perhaps in a company who you're pitching to, but they are still individuals. You need to be able to appeal to them. You need to be able to connect with their real needs and requirements. And that is what people choose. People choose people who they find a commonality with. They find a connection with. And that is where, to answer your question, Brother Saheb, it's a brilliant question that you asked. That's where branding should go. People should focus on basically getting other people to know who they are, not just what they do. Because if someone wanted to know what you do, Google your name, have a look at your LinkedIn profile. It's got everything that you do. It's got all your work accolades and everything, where you worked, what you did, etc. But why would people want to do business with you when they can do business with so many other people? It's only if they know, like, and trust you. And that can only happen if you choose to boost your personal brand by sharing with your network as to who you are. So great question, Brother Saheb, and I hope that has answered it pretty succinctly. I can keep talking on this because this is something which is very
that's what I'm getting it. So let's take some other comments also. So we have one LinkedIn user, and the name is not showing. Maybe with your phone, maybe you can check.
I'm surprised. Okay, I'm checking. It's Alina. It's Alina Panduru. Thank you, Alina. I'm not sure why your name always shows as LinkedIn user for some reason, but really appreciate your support, Alina. You've been absolutely fantastic. With how you support everyone in your network. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Love your
Brother Saheb, you're definitely you're the dean in the placement office, in the Create the Edge University of Branding, without a shadow of a doubt. You're the managing director.
Managing director. Yeah, actually, thank you very much, Saheb, for joining. And he's actually, telling a lot of things about, personal branding, how to create the edge itself. Saheb is doing a lot of good work at his place in the community in Pakistan, also in UAE. And one thing I just like about that, he also tells that now universities or curriculum should be having the courses related to branding, or just to come up with the branding ideas basically for individual graduates. So thank you very much, and a cheers to you, Saheb, for joining in and sharing the insights.
I appreciate that. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so Alina is saying choose to boost your personal brand by sharing with your network who you are. Okay, and
Yep.
one more important thing is, what I feel is to again just be yourself,
Yep.
who you are in your perspective, in your life, in your own version, basically.
Mm-hmm.
In your own skin, in your own version, just be yourself, and then try to tell
Precisely.
people who you are, basically. So from there, I think the knowing factor, the liking factor, the trust will begin or to create.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And that's the main thing. Like, why try to be someone who you're not? Okay.
Yeah,
Don't try to be someone who you're not. Yes. Am I saying that you shouldn't follow certain elements of people around you? Absolutely. Take certain things that you like from people, take certain things that they say, but add that secret ingredient to it, which is your personality. Simple as
yeah,
that. Because if you don't make it your own, you will always be the second Will Smith, or the
hmm,
second Simon Sinek, or you'll be the Asian Gary Vaynerchuk, or you'll be the American, someone, for example, right? Why be, an imitation of someone else? Be yourself.
yeah.
Each and every one of us has value. Each and every one of us can provide value in some way. So just be yourself, and that's the main thing. So yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, she's saying that's me indeed, Joseph. Not sure why this happened. Okay, no worries, but still, we care for you. You are there. Thank
We
you very
know
much.
we know you're there, Alina. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
You're very, very kind.
yeah, absolutely. All right, all right. So this was something gold we have discussed and you shared, Joseph. Thank you very much for joining me
Pleasure.
and
Pleasure.
having this great, great collaboration. And yeah, we miss Joy actually.
Yeah.
So I hope he will be catching up soon, basically.
Oh, he
Yeah,
will.
he's
He will. He's got a call earlier, which was pre-scheduled. But
yeah,
yeah, he'll definitely be catching on. So yeah. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. He's a great gem too. All right, so thank you very much, Joseph, once again. And anything you want
Pleasure.
to, summarize or come up with your own, a bonus idea or advice for everyone, our listeners, our audience. So feel free to share with us.
Yeah, there's something which a lot of people talk about, right? I mean, especially in today's world, especially in today's world, where even though we've gone digital, we seem to be having less time than we used to before. In some way, at least I find myself, struggling for time sometimes.
Hmm.
Even though, like, I've cut out, time for commuting, etc., and meetings can be held via Zoom, etc. But it's something to do with being a little bit more. Yeah, uh, you have to, you need to make sure that sometimes you focus on having certain blanket decisions. What do I mean by blanket decisions? You need to sometimes just absolutely have a predetermined element that this is what, if this happens, this is what I'm going to do. I'll give you one specific example, keeping myself
Hmm.
as an example here. I do get invited on a lot of podcasts, and I
Hmm.
love collaborating with people, and I never say no. The only time I say no to being on someone's podcast, it's got nothing to do with the number of followers you have. It's got nothing to do, whether, as long as I see from your profile that you're trying to provide value to your network, I'm happy to come on board and try to assist that process. So I've got a blanket decision, not a statement, a blanket decision. I'm happy to be on anyone's podcast as long as it is not between 12 a.m. and 8 a.m. Singapore time. Simple as that.
Hmm.
If it's outside those times, even if it's 11:30 p.m. my time, I'll be there. But if it's at 12:30 a.m., I'm sorry, you could
Right.
be, the prime minister of a country, for example. I will not be on your
Yeah.
podcast because that's a blanket
Uh-huh.
decision. So I don't have to then, uh, you know, weigh up different offers. I know. Okay, time no doesn't work. So you save a lot of time, and that makes you more effective in what you are doing. It leaves more time. So creates little blanket decisions. Like, for example, when you're going to talk to a specific client, if you're in the sales or business development sector, right? Make a blanket decision that After 3 or 5 follow-ups with a prospective client, you just let them be. Don't waste your time, because that is what a lot of people, forget to do, because they feel that, oh, it's going to happen, oh, it's going to happen, oh, it's going to happen, but it never does. And what have you done? You have basically, backed yourself into a corner where, you really have wasted that time on this dead prospect when you could be talking to someone new. So that's a blanket decision. If there are 3 times when you have had a full presentation and you've gone through a discussion and they still can't make a decision, tell them and be firm about it, that I'm not going to get back to you after this, because my time is precious, and I'm going to respect your time as well, and I'm not going to harass you. If when you feel that you are ready, you have my number, you give me a call. And that is so important. Little things like this, you need to keep certain blanket decisions. And this is something, interestingly, and Safirullah, I completely agree with you. It is so important for time management. And it's absolutely essential that you are not wasting time on things which are not going to be providing you with value moving forward. So blanket decisions is something personally, I've only started doing this in the last year. Only 1 year. That's it. I heard a talk by someone, I can't remember now. And
I am remembering that maybe I'm remembering it. It was Elaine.
Elaine spoke about this, about blanket decisions. We both actually attended an online talk by someone else a little bit prior to that. But Elaine said it beautifully with regards to blanket decision, how important it is. So my one word of advice, my 2 cents of wisdom, whatever you'd like to call it, is like, make sure you have blanket decisions regarding certain elements which happen to you all the time, so that you can better manage your time moving forward, so that you're not spending more time than is necessary on certain elements in life, which could ideally, not be fruitful for you in the long run. So that's my 2 cents worth.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your 2 cents and a great information out there, Joseph.
Pleasure.
And I just appreciate your efforts and the energies you put in the show and the streaming. Thank you so much once again. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us and supporting the streaming with your thoughts and feedback. Really, really appreciate it. Stay tuned, take care of yourself, and stay connected. Thank you very much.
Thank you.